Okay, welcome back everyone to a probably fairly inevitable announcement of the final episode of Fjordur. It's been several months since the last episode I released, simply because I just failed to ever have the motivation to bring myself to do anything with this series. I tried adding like the immersive taming mod and things to try and make it a bit more interesting for myself, to make it a bit different, but ultimately I had my other series going, playing through all of the maps in order was more fun to me. I just didn't really have the motivation for this one. Wasn't different enough. I mean, this map is awesome, but just wasn't feeling it. Couldn't think of things that I really realistically wanted to do to get the series moving. So I just left it, thinking, oh, I'll maybe come back to it at some point. Never did. And just a couple of days ago, we finally got the release of Ark Survival Ascended, and I think for me, was just the last straw to basically go, right, this new version of the game is out anyway, so I'm going to officially end this series. I wanted to make sure that I made some sort of little announcement on it, just because I think this is the 15th episode, so a decent number of episodes in, and I wanted some sort of formal announcement just to make sure it was clear that it had ended and wasn't just left on the shelf somewhere. Um, so yeah, that's the official announcement that this will be the last episode, of which basically it's just going to be me talking about what's going on going forward rather than actually doing anything. I have no plans for actually really playing the game here. I might briefly just show off the creatures we had, but also hopefully should be a little sneak peek at my improvements to my PC. I don't know how noticeable they'll be, but I am playing on a higher resolution monitor now and have a better processor, so it hopefully actually keeps up with that fact, but we'll see how things go. So as for what's happening with my series on this channel, so obviously Fjord is ending. This will be the final bit of it. I have bought Ark Survival Ascended. I was holding off on playing it for a few days initially because I was like, I'm gonna wait until they've ironed out the inevitable issues that ended up occurring. I'm hoping that may be sorted a little bit now, but we'll see. It's going to be an overnight install for me anyway, because there's no way I can install that in a few minutes or hours even. So I'm hoping to have a look at it myself tomorrow. Now, whether I'll do a full series on it, the answer to that in the moment, probably no. My intention is to do more like smaller series, smaller little like just random videos, I suppose. So not a series, I guess. Just things here and there. Maybe may I have a go at doing like little information videos if I like sit and play test stuff and whatnot. But I'm not gonna do a full series, not until some of the other maps come out. So once maps like the Lost Island and Fjordur release on ASA, I might doing a series on them then, with E15, who is doing my other Ark series with us. As for that one will continue. The two of us have every intention to finish that series. Um, we're quite far into it now. We're on Extinction. We don't want to just quit now just because ASA released. So we are gonna finish that one fully. We're gonna get the whole way through it. We're hoping that Extinction shouldn't take us too long anyway, because we've already got most of the bred creatures that we need from the previous maps. We can pretty much go straight for the Titans if we wanted to. It would just be a bit of preparing for the actual King Titan. So pretty much all we're going to be doing really, realistically, for Extinction is taming each of the new creatures. I've got to breed some Gigas a little bit, mainly because they'll be useful more of the bred versions are for Genesis rather than necessarily for the King Titan. I think just a bunch of imprinted Gigas would be good enough for the King Titan, because all you realistically need to do is just keep throwing out waves of them each time he power punches and kills them all, so that you just replace them. and they will do it, because as long as you can beat the beta, Mega Mech will carry you for most of the alpha, which we are intending to use. So realistically, Extinction, we can probably have it done by the end of the year if we dedicate ourselves to actually getting on with it, which has usually been the issue with why Aberration and Scorched Earth took so long. So if we can get through those a bit quicker, great, and hopefully be on to Genesis before we start anything too serious with ASA. Grounded, that has been recorded for months. I just keep never getting around to the editing, so I'm starting to try and get on with that, so you'll probably see a fair bit of that. We'll then have a few bits to record to finish it off, just because we did get to a point where we're like, oh, I should wait until I've actually caught up the editing, and that just never happened. So there's a few bits, basically the end of the game, that we need to see. Like, we're pretty much right up to that point. So all of the content's there, I've just got to actually edit and release it. So Grounded will also be finishing off over the coming months. Which hopefully, again, should mean we have that series cleared up and finished before we start any sort of series with ASA. And the last one being Conan. That one, again, will continue. Again, I've got footage recorded from the first few days of us playing, and then none of us have played it since, again, on the idea that I was going to catch up the editing, and then we keep playing. So all that realistically means is I just need to actually get on with some editing, which I've been very bad at the last couple of months. So I need to just get on with that, release all that stuff, should be caught up, and then I don't know if I'll bother with scheduling certain days for certain series. I typically tend to try and upload something each Saturday. What I'll probably try and do from now is try and have something each Saturday and each Wednesday, of which the Saturday episode is most likely to be part of the Ark Survival Evolved series. That one is most likely to be then. And then the Wednesday will most likely be the Grounded or Conan episode. What I'll probably do is try and alternate them, but I might then end up doing more episodes some weeks. It's going to be a very loose plan, basically. Like, that's my rough idea, but it might end up falling apart when I actually go, I want a Conan and a Grounded episode out each week. They'll then, as I say, hopefully be the odd random ASA video. My plans with Ark Ascended is basically probably the first video we're thinking of going for, because again, neither me or Ricey40 have ever tried doing like a hardcore playthrough. So we're thinking of maybe trying one of those like 100 days hardcore survival with ASA, because that's something neither of us has done. We're limited at the moment to only playing the island, so might as well try something like that. So that's probably the first thing we'll do. But given the two of our track record at not dying, I imagine that could take us a fair while to actually successfully do that, because you know full well there's going to be something stupid that happens on day 60 that results in both of our deaths, as always. So it may take a while, so it could be a while before you actually see content on it, if that is indeed what I go with as the first bit of footage of Ark Survival Ascended for this channel. But either way, there will be something at some point, mainly as a replacement of this Fjordur series. I think that's pretty much everything covered. Fjordur, this series is now over, officially, even though I hadn't uploaded on it for months, so it kind of was anyway. So this is just, as I say, official announcement, and hopefully Ark Survival Ascended content at some point in the coming month, depending on how quickly I can manage to start getting some content out. It will also slightly depend on whether or not my PC can handle it. All I've got to do is try it myself and see what happens. So if you don't see anything, there's possibly been some sort of issue. If that is the case, I'll probably say something about it in my Ark Survival Evolved series. But assuming nothing is heard, there will be content on it coming out as soon as I can get it, as soon as I've decided what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, so hopefully you can all look forward to that. And yeah, sorry to say goodbye to Fjordur and my little fjord hawk here. I can't really remember what other creatures I had. I'm gonna be honest. I just saw this thing the moment I got up out of my bed, and there he was in front of me. So yeah, that that is the goodbye to this series, but hopefully with the promise of new beginnings. Bao said, I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll see you in whatever's next.